Code of Serenity. 10 Lessons to Unlock Patience. Stoicism. Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of impatience, as if every passing second stretched into an unbearable eternity? Picture yourself racing against time, pulled in 1,000 directions by daily distractions, and completely forgetting something fundamental: the art of cultivating inner serenity. Today we'll unlock the Code of Serenity, 10 lessons to unlock patience through the ancient principles of Stoicism. Get ready to turn every moment of waiting into a strategic opportunity for mental strengthening. In Stoic philosophy, patience is not passivity, but an active strategy for fortifying the mind. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that he who endures with patience is made strong, while Seneca teaches that nothing happens to those who do not allow it. In this video, we'll replace limiting beliefs with consciously chosen practices. We'll tend to our goals like gardeners nurture their plants, install a mental pause button between stimulus and response, and gather micro moments of contentment that keep our hearts calm even in the fiercest storms. Stay with me until the end, because when you apply these Stoic lessons, you won't just unlock patience, you'll reveal the essence of an unshakable spirit capable of navigating life's tempests with tranquility and confidence. By the close of this video, you'll be ready to use your purpose as a compass, appreciate the compounding power of small daily efforts, and, above all, live in harmony with the natural rhythm of things. Throughout this journey, you'll see how each lesson works in everyday practice. I'll guide you to look inward before reacting, transforming each challenge into a laboratory of self-insight. So prepare to activate your inner protagonist and rewire your mind, one deliberate step at a time, with resilience and purpose. Let's uncover the secrets of this Stoic code together and emerge stronger, more serene, and truly patient, mastering time instead of being mastered by it. Part 1. Cultivate the process, not just the outcome. Imagine your goals as a secret garden. You don't storm in shouting at a seed, demanding it sprout immediately. Instead, you water the soil, enrich it with compost, ensure it gets sunlight, and guard it against pests. Every small gesture, even those invisible at first glance, is part of the continuous care that sustains life. In Stoic practice, patience is not passivity, but a passionate commitment to daily tending. Begin by identifying 3 simple actions that bring you closer to your purpose. Learning a new concept, spending a few minutes in focused meditation, or reviewing a lesson from the previous day. Commit to performing these each day, without fixating on immediate results. At night, take a moment to note mentally which of these actions you completed. Over time, this consistency becomes mental fertilizer, enriching the soil of your character. Next, celebrate every early sprout, those almost imperceptible gains, like feeling more confident speaking in public for the 3rd time or noticing smoother flow after 10 minutes of writing practice. By acknowledging each small victory, you reinforce your motivation and build deep roots of self-confidence. A powerful exercise is just before you fall asleep, recalling 3 advances, no matter how minor, and giving thanks for the opportunity to grow. It's also crucial to recalibrate your expectations. If your planning review reveals overly ambitious targets, break them down into smaller, realistic steps. This ensures the soil of your mind remains fertile rather than compacted by urgency. Marcus Aurelius taught that the quality of our effort defines us, not merely the outcome. By valuing each effort, you internalize the process itself as a source of meaning. Finally, make your commitment explicit. Set a daily reminder that reads, "Today, I tend my inner garden." This mental trigger strengthens your discipline and completes the cycle. Plan, act, celebrate, adjust. When you learn to love every stage of your journey, you discover that patience blossoms not in waiting for the result, but in the joy of tending the path that leads there. Part 2. Transform. Wading into a laboratory of observation. How many times have you glanced at the clock in frustration while awaiting a reply or stuck in traffic? In Stoicism, every second of waiting can become a powerful experiment in attention and self-discovery, rather than a moment to resent as wasted time. Begin by tuning into your body. Notice the tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, or the quickening of your breath. Acknowledge these sensations without judgment. Mentally note or jot down what you feel. My chest tightened. My hands grew clammy. This simple recording creates distance between you and the impulse to react. Next, observe your thoughts. This is unfair. I can't stand this. I'm losing time. Identify the most recurring sentences. By verbalizing these inner narratives, you strip them of their unconscious power and turn them into data for reflection. Ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? What is this impatience trying to reveal? This silent inquiry uncovers your triggers, which, once recognized, lose much of their force. Then, redirect your focus outward to the world around you. Listen to the hum of engines, feel the texture of your seat, notice the color of the sky. Treat waiting as a field study, where each detail is a valuable data point. This curious stance disarms boredom and activates patience, for you discover there is always something new to learn, even in moments of pause. Finally, remember that discomfort is temporary. Picture the situation as a wave that rises and then subsides. As Epictetus taught, no evil lasts forever. Holding this perspective reinforces your inner calm, knowing that each moment of waiting will pass, leaving you stronger and more aware of your own workings. Part 3. Offer yourself the patience you'd give a learner. At many points in life, we become our own harshest critics, demanding instant results and punishing every mistake as proof of incompetence. Yet, if you were mentoring a beginner, you'd approach each stumble with patience, celebrate every small win, and encourage perseverance as part of the learning process. With yourself, the practice must be identical. Honor each first step, however modest, and turn missteps into valuable lessons. When you make an error, whether mispronouncing a foreign word, stumbling in a workout, or fumbling a new skill, ask, what is this mistake teaching me? Instead of self-punishment, note the insight it reveals. Perhaps a lack of focus, excessive haste, or a technique that needs more drilling. This curious, non-judgmental gaze transforms every failure into a stepping stone toward mastery. Cultivating this inner mentor demands an ongoing, compassionate dialogue. Upon a lapse in discipline, replace "I'm weak" with "You're a work in progress. Let's refine the approach." Picture the words you'd offer a student. You've come far already, and each misstep brings you closer to skill. Rewriting your self-talk in this way reduces self-criticism and builds confidence. Seneca reminded us that practice does not make perfection, it makes progress. By recognizing the intrinsic value of each effort, regardless of immediate visibility, you align your mind with the natural pace of growth. Treat every small gain as a promising shoot, rooting your patience and emotional resilience deeply. In doing so, the journey ceases to be a race against the clock and becomes an intentional path where every misstep, every triumph, and every insight fortifies your character and inner serenity. Part 4. Welcome your emotions as visitors, not permanent residents. We've all felt impatience surge like an uninvited guest, frustration tighten around our chest, or anxiety send a chill down our spine. Yet Stoic wisdom teaches that these feelings need not take up permanent residence in our mind. Rather than resisting or suppressing them, patience arises when we greet emotions with curiosity and hospitality. Open the door, offer a seat, but make it clear they won't stay forever. When irritation strikes, first observe its sensory qualities. Notice the constriction in your chest, the sudden warmth in your face, or the looped thought declaring, "This is unbearable." Instead of reacting by trying to banish the sensation, simply acknowledge its presence. Mentally note, "I see you there, emotion. I know you arrived unannounced, but I'm willing to listen." This simple act of naming already breaks the automatic cycle, reducing the emotion's grip on your mind. Once you've welcomed it, ask what the emotion wants to teach you. Perhaps your impatience signals that expectations are misaligned with reality, or your anxiety surfaces fears planted by past experiences. Treat these messages as data for an internal report. Silently note, "I'm afraid I won't reach my goal in time," or "I'm frustrated because I demand too much from myself." By reframing discomfort as insight, you convert turbulence into self-knowledge, Next, remind yourself that all emotions are transient. Visualize each feeling as a cloud drifting across your inner sky. It arrives, floats, and then dissolves. Epictetus reminds us that feeling emotions is nothing extraordinary. The extraordinary thing is not being enslaved by them. By maintaining the stance of a gentle observer, you strengthen your serenity, confident that even the densest clouds will disperse. Finally, reinforce your calm with simple techniques. Take 3 deep breaths, anchoring your attention on the air entering and leaving your lungs. Repeat a brief Stoic phrase like, "I am greater than this feeling." Imagine the emotion exiting through a side door, returning only when its message is useful. Over time, this compassionate welcome becomes a habit, and you shift from being a hostage of your emotions to a composed host in your own inner home. Part 5. Install a pause button between stimulus and response. In our world of constant triggers, notifications, honking horns, urgent demands, it's easy to react impulsively, becoming a prisoner of fleeting frustrations and later regrets. Stoicism offers a remarkably simple yet powerful tool, a mental pause button that creates a buffer of calm between what happens and how you respond. The next time something provokes you, an abrupt message, a cutting remark, or creeping traffic, imagine a large red button labeled pause floating before you. Press it. In that brief moment, just 1 or 2 seconds, you shift from automatic reaction to conscious choice, regaining control over your actions instead of surrendering to raw impulse. Within this newly created interval, notice what unfolds. Your chest may open, your mind clears, and you gain the clarity to distinguish between the primitive urge to lash out and the rational option to breathe deeply, reply with composure, or redirect your focus. That split-second pause is the very essence of patience, the power to suspend judgment and let reason guide your next move. To build this habit, follow 3 steps. Identify the trigger, the sharp tone, the unexpected delay, or the thought, "This can't be happening now." B. Visualize the button. Create a vivid mental image, whether it's a retro video game icon or an hourglass. Choose whatever resonates most. Press and breathe. Mentally press the button while taking a deep 3-second inhale, then exhale slowly. With practice, your brain will link that trigger to an automatic pause, transforming a deliberate act into an almost instinctive response. As Epictetus warned, between stimulus and response is the space in which our power to choose our reaction lies. Mastering that space turns you from a reactor into the serene architect of your own emotions. Part 6. Manage your energy, not just your time. Have you ever wondered why, even with free hours ahead, a minor setback feels impossible to handle calmly? Impatience often stems not from lack of time, but from depleted internal energy. In Stoic thought, our mental, emotional, and physical fuel is as precious as each second we have. When it runs low, patience evaporates like dew in the sun. Picture your body and mind as a temple. No matter how grand its architecture, if the candles on its altar are nearly spent, the sacred space cannot shine. You might wake up early, plan every task, and follow a perfect schedule, but if your reserves aren't replenished, even a small disturbance can ignite frustration. That's why energy management is essential for self-mastery. First, honor sleep as a sacred ritual. Marcus Aurelius urged treating rest with the same reverence as virtuous action. Don't push your body beyond its natural limits. Set consistent bed and wake-up times. Cultivate a calm pre-sleep routine, and truly disconnect from daily worries. Next, weave regular breaks into your day. Don't wait until exhaustion to pause. Schedule short 3 to 5 minute interludes between demanding tasks. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and release built-up tension. These brief respites act like springs of fresh water in a desert of mental overload. Fuel both mind and body wisely. Proper nutrition and regular hydration aren't just health tips, they're pillars of patience. Eating nutrient-rich meals and sipping water throughout the day stabilizes blood sugar, prevents stress spikes, and sustains clarity. Finally, devote yourself to energy-restoring activities. Whether it's a mindful walk in nature, a 5-minute morning stretch, a moment of inspiring reading, or listening to favorite music, Epictetus reminds us to value how we spend each moment rather than its length. By choosing actions that refill your reserves, you invest directly in your serenity. When you manage energy as attentively as time, patience shifts from a scarce resource into a natural state of being. Up next, we'll explore how to guard your attention, the most precious treasure of all. Part 7. Be the guardian of your focus. Amid the cacophony of notifications, emails, social feeds, and visual stimuli, our attention has become a precious currency. Each time we scatter our focus, switching tasks, succumbing to pop-ups, or chasing every alert, we squander fragments of our patience. In Stoic practice, your attention is a treasure, and you must stand guard to prevent distractions from eroding your serenity. Begin by establishing quiet zones in your day. Block out uninterrupted intervals of 25 to 50 minutes, silence unnecessary sounds, close unrelated browser tabs, and commit to deep work. During these stretches, much like a disciplined diver exploring the ocean depths, your mind dives beneath surface chaos into genuine concentration. When the timer chimes, take a brief pause before diving back in. This rhythmic cycle, akin to the Pomodoro technique, trains your focus as a skill rather than a chance occurrence. Next, codify your priorities. At daybreak, list 2 or 3 mission-critical tasks and treat them as sacred duties. When a distraction arises, pause and ask yourself, does this serve my top missions? If not, mentally close the door on that intrusion. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that a wise man focuses only on what he can control. Your attention is fully within your control. Decide deliberately where it belongs. Practice the intentional scan. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through content, examine each post, image, or headline as if it were the only one in existence. Ask what it provokes in you and whether it contributes to your growth or merely fills a void. This investigative stance transforms potential time wasters into moments of insight, or enables you to discard them entirely. Finally, deploy sensory anchors to refocus your mind. Press your thumb and forefinger together for a moment. Pair a deep breath with a trigger word like hear or focus, or visualize your future self thanking you for your present discipline. Over time, these cues become automatic reminders, snapping your attention back whenever it begins to drift. By safeguarding your focus with these strategies, you not only deepen your capacity to remain present, but also shield your patience from evaporation in the face of superficial stimuli. Next, we'll learn how to collect micro moments of contentment to nourish your serenity every single day. Part 8. Collect micro moments of contentment. In our fast-paced lives, we chase major achievements and often overlook that serenity can dwell in the smallest instance. Stoic insight teaches us to train our awareness to notice simple joys, much like Marcus Aurelius pausing to hear a bird's song at dawn. These micro moments serve as reservoirs of well-being, nourishing your patience even when life demands grand outcomes. Begin by performing a conscious scan throughout your day. On the first sip of coffee, savor its aroma and feel its warmth spread across your palate. When a sunbeam touches your skin, close your eyes briefly and relish that gentle caress. If you overhear an unguarded laugh, let yourself smile in response. Each detail you notice reinforces your ability to find satisfaction in the present. Keep a running mental log of these experiences. You might use a simple notepad app, a tiny journal, or your own memory. The smooth taste of green tea, the breeze rustling leaves, the unexpected kindness of a stranger. Actively recording these moments cultivates selective gratitude, shifting your focus from what's missing to what already exists. As Seneca warned, it is not hard to endure lack of everything, but to covet everything. By valuing the smallest pleasures, you dilute the anxiety of wanting more. Also, pay attention to everyday occurrences that typically slip by unnoticed. The softness of your clothing fabric, the harmony of a spontaneous street melody, or the ever-changing shapes of clouds. Welcoming these flashes of beauty trains your mind to be patient with life's natural pace, discovering emotional sustenance in each fragment of awareness. Turn this practice into a daily ritual. At day's end, Spend a minute recalling 3 micro-moments you experienced. This brief evening reflection closes the loop on a positive note, signaling to your brain that patience is rewarded not only by big victories, but also by small sensory delights. Over time, these automatic acknowledgments accumulate into an inner treasury of contentment, softening delays and disruptions, because you learn to sustain your serenity without depending on external milestones. Next, we'll explore how to use your purpose as a compass to guide you through even the foggiest days of doubt and impatience. Part 9. Use your purpose as a compass on foggy days. There are days when everything feels gray, your efforts yield nothing, goals vanish on the horizon, and impatience rises like a dense fog obscuring your path. In those moments, the difference between giving up and pressing on is an internal beacon, your overarching purpose. In Stoicism, the why behind your journey acts as an unfailing compass, guiding each step even when your emotional landscape seems murky. First, recall the fundamental reason you embarked on this path. Maybe it's to become a more integral version of yourself, to serve as an example for others, or to achieve a goal that resonates with your deepest values. Bring this motivation to mind whenever doubt's wind blows strongest. By placing your purpose front and center, you reaffirm that the process is worthwhile, regardless of external circumstances. Next, translate that purpose into vivid mental imagery. Envision yourself months or years from now, harvesting the fruits of your effort. Not merely the end result, but the fulfillment of having walked each stage with serenity. Feel the anticipatory gratitude swell in your chest, reminding you that every act of patience today is a solid brick in the foundation of your legacy. When the emotional fog threatens to sap your energy, speak a short phrase aloud that captures your purpose. I am building my integrity. My persistence serves a greater good. Or, I am focus and serenity in motion. Repeating these mantras clears the internal haze and realigns your gaze with the chosen path. As Epictetus taught, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. By shifting your view from discouragement to commitment, the fog lifts. Finally, reignite your purpose with small, value-aligned actions. If generosity defines your goal, spend a minute performing a tiny act of kindness. If self-knowledge guides you, jot down one fresh insight. These gestures, when combined, rekindle your inner beacon, creating sparks of motivation amid the darkness. By using your purpose as a compass on foggy days, you reclaim control of your course, navigating with confidence through any condition. In our final lesson, we'll uncover how to trust the compounding power of small daily efforts, turning droplets of patience into rivers of serenity. Part 10. Trust the compounding power of small daily efforts. Have you ever marveled at how a single drop of water, persistent over time, can carve its way through solid rock? In Stoic teaching, this phenomenon mirrors patience perfectly. Transformation doesn't stem from one grand gesture, but from the accumulation of small, disciplined actions performed day after day. Trusting in this compounding effect is the key to unlocking steadfast serenity, regardless of immediate results. First, recognize that every minor daily effort, no matter how trivial it seems, carries formidable potential when repeated consistently. A minute spent each morning visualizing your long-term goals, a deliberate pause before checking notifications, a quick moment of gratitude for yesterday's small victory. Each drop of intention adds to a reservoir of resilience. Dismissing any of these as too little underestimates the power of accumulation. To ingrain this principle, commit to 3 non-negotiable Stoic rituals each day that reinforce patience in different areas of life. Perhaps you'll meditate for 2 minutes upon waking, pause consciously before responding to emails, and mentally acknowledge one challenge you overcame the day before. Track these rituals on a visible calendar or habit tracker. Seeing your streak grow fuels motivation, turning patience from a forced effort into an effortless habit. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make of it. By nurturing thoughts and actions aligned with patience, you shape a character capable of flowing with life's changes instead of resisting them. Each consciously placed drop of effort deepens your roots of serenity, making you less susceptible to external storms. Finally, remember that masterpieces emerge from countless unseen strokes. A sculptor may not glimpse the finished form until the final chisel blow, but they know every tap, no matter how slight, brings the work closer to perfection. We, too, are sculptures in progress. By trusting the slow, steady work of small acts, we shift our focus away from quick fixes and learn to cherish the process as the essence of our evolution. With these 10 Stoic lessons in hand, you hold the Code of Serenity. Apply each one faithfully and witness how day by day, the slow accrual of your efforts blossoms into genuine patience, unyielding, transformative, and serenely powerful. Now that you've mastered the Code of Serenity and internalized these 10 lessons for unlocking patience, imagine applying that same Stoic rigor the moment you wake up. Envision how structuring your mornings with simple Stoic practices, small actions that align your body, mind, and purpose before your first cup of coffee, can amplify every virtue we've explored today. Sometimes the difference between a day overwhelmed by chaos and a day guided by calm lies in how you choose to greet those early hours. If you're ready to keep transforming your life with powerful Stoic routines, don't go anywhere. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join me next time to discover morning habits that will set the perfect tone for every single day.